back to our channel, and today we thought we'd do a video on BMI and why we don't think it's a great structure to go by.
Oh, should I give you my experience?
Yeah.
So I've never had an eating disorder before or a mental health issue, anything like that. I can't remember why they did my BMI at the doctor's. Oh, I don't know, maybe it wasn't a health check. Anyway, they checked my BMI. I can't remember why. But they checked it and they told me that I was on the brink of being like overweight. And I was literally like,
you're so normal.
like, what? Why would you tell someone that? Like, I do understand that you have to be healthy in that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Am I speaking out of turn? I
think a lot of the confusion is mistaking fat for muscle. So muscle weighs more than fat, and when people exercise and when people do sports, for example, our dad, he's the fittest man you'll ever meet, and he's nearly 60, and he went and got his BMI checked, and he was like clinically, he was like obese, but the woman said that's not because you're fat, that's because of the muscle. You just hold so much muscle, because he's a scaffolder and he goes to the gym, he's working out non-stop. So he came back, he was like, I'm obese, but it's my muscle. He was fine by it, because he's quite black and white. He's like, it's my muscle. Whereas if someone else had that, they might just take it completely the wrong way.
So I think I was going to the gym quite a lot at that time.
Yeah.
But they didn't even say that to me. Like, they literally just said, oh, by the way, you're like sort of coming up to being like clinically overweight. Like, I just think, but just out of nowhere, and like there's no sort of other.
Someone's at the door. We'll leave it. Oh,
Better go get it.
We are back.
I can't remember where we got to. But yeah, it wasn't just me that this happened to. It was also a friend of ours who felt a little bit self-conscious anyway from a previous situation. And then she's gone to the doctors and they've said to her, oh, by the way, you're coming up to being a bit overweight. And then, like, I just feel like, I don't know, surely there's another test that can look into something a bit better than that.
There's so many other tests. I mean,
I feel like people...
Sorry.
Can I say quick? I'm one of those people, and I think there's a lot of people out there like me where your weight fluctuates up and down depending on if you've been out for dinner like quite a lot in the past few months, if you've maybe stopped going to the gym because you're busy, maybe you're less active for a little while, maybe it's been cold and you've been sitting and watching Netflix for a while, but then as soon as the weather cheers up, you know, you might go out for walks more. I just feel like you can't just like say that to someone on like a
I feel like this has really affected you.
I just remember it, but you know, they're lucky. It didn't. I'm not bothered about things like that, and I'm like, well, I'm quite happy with how I am, so I don't really care.
But the thing is, you're not. That's the thing. You're not. I don't know what these BMI things are, but you're not. I think it's just overweight. You're normal.
It's just a really quick way of being like, this is how it is.
Yeah, and you have exercised your whole life, so a lot of it is probably muscle. And I do
probably not, but
so we have another point,
which is the main point of the video. We sort of went off on a tangent.
Yeah, we did.
Before. Anyway, BMI and eating disorders is actually what we were trying to get at. Because what I was trying to say at the beginning is BMI isn't always correct. Like, they told me that I'm sort of almost overweight. I'm a size, you know, not that it's about sizing, but I'm a size sort of 10. Which I don't feel like that's overweight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, and I'm happy with how I am. You know, I exercise regularly-ish. I eat kind of healthy, but also mentally I've got a healthy relationship with food.
Yeah,
so,
100%.
you know, the whole package, for me, I feel like there's nothing that I need to do to change my lifestyle, considering being told I was a bit overweight. But when it comes down to eating disorders, you should have a look at the campaign from Hope Virgo called
she's so good.
Yeah, from called Dump the Scales. But basically what we're trying to say is that there's a lot of people, and it still happens so much now, like it's just been happening for like ever, that they go based on your BMI as to whether you get help or not.
Exactly.
So someone, for example, who might be displaying symptoms of anorexia, in their mind, the anorexia is like completely 100% taken over. You know, it couldn't probably almost get any worse, but maybe their body's not showing the physical effects of that yet.
Exactly.
However,
so they might have lost a bit, but not be at such a low weight that it's like,
enough.
you're going to go in now. Yeah.
So they might say, but you have to be a lower weight for help. So then what happens is because we all know that early intervention is the best intervention.
Well, it's the same
with
it's the same with cancer. You know, if you catch it early, it goes quicker. I'm not saying it's as easy as that, but if you catch anorexia early, it's a lot easier to get rid of. Anyway.
And so it's a lot easier. But then what they're doing is they're saying, okay, your BMI is not low enough.
That's going to motivate.
Go for a few months.
Yeah, that's going to probably motivate the anorexia even more, isn't it?
Yeah, the anorexia is saying, oh, you're rubbish at what you're doing or whatever, and then you know, you're waiting for people to get almost, you know, so entrenched in it mentally and then physically just as much. It's kind of really weird, really, that even happens, because we all know that an eating disorder is a mental illness. It's not a physical one, even though it has physical symptoms. So going by BMI primarily defeats the whole point of what everyone's trying to... Everyone knows it's a mental... Pretty much, most people, and especially people in the professional field, they know it's a mental illness. So going by BMI is just really confusing.
Yeah, I get that they've got funding and stuff like that, but I think they just need to look at how they're doing it, like re-look at like the source, not the source, but they need to look at like, okay, the quicker we get them, the easier it will be to treat, sort of thing, rather than waiting for them to get really ill.
And also there's a lot of eating disorders, like, so for example, bulimia. You can do a lot of internal damage from having bulimia, but your weight doesn't always necessarily get to the lowest weight that it needs to be, or to, you know, often it can fluctuate, but often you're sort of on the brink of like an average weight. You're not anything where someone would look at them and be like, oh, there's a problem. So
the thing is,
that's our thoughts, really.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, even when someone's training in the gym and they want to lose weight, they might be gaining muscle. So technically, they do put on weight. They lose fat, but they gain muscle. So they're putting on weight, but they're gaining like healthy, lean muscle. So it just doesn't make sense.
It's like because weight is just like one thing. It's a bit like I don't know how to say it, but weight's just one little thing in the equation.
Yeah, well, we sort of did it broader. We related it to mental illness, but we also just thought, like, don't really go by BMI, you know, look into maybe
other areas
like your mind and how you feel, and you know, if you really want to look into it, go into muscle mass and what's actually going on inside, rather than just a number.
We hope that made sense.
Don't know, but you know, we just felt like that. Okay.
Bye.